Live. Good luck.
Thanks. Hello and good morning from Arizona, everybody. My name is Haiti Sin, and I'm the Director of International Admissions here at Embry-Riddle, Aeronautical University. And today I'm going to be here presenting on careers in aviation, aerospace, and beyond. So for you who are interested in any of this field, I will be talking a little bit more about the field and what you can be expecting to be going into university career path and after what you'll be doing. Okay, I see that. I'm just going to check and see there's some. Hello, everybody. I'm going to go back to the full screen here. And I'm not going to be checking the messages until I'm done here, but feel free if you have any questions or anything to type into the messaging box, and I'll go back and check the messaging after our presentation and answer any of the questions you might have. So we'll go ahead and get started today. A little bit about Embry-Riddle. We are a truly global campus. We have 2 campuses here in America, beautiful Arizona, Florida, and also worldwide. I'm sitting at the Arizona campus, and we'll talk a little bit more about each of the campuses and how that offer different things for our students worldwide, and a little bit about our campus in general. Our Daytona Beach campus in Florida started back in 1965, so a very long time ago, and we started our first remote location in Alabama, which eventually turned into our worldwide campus, which is online globally. Students from all around the world will be able to take classes from anywhere. And in 1978, our Prescott campus have initiated in beautiful Arizona. And our 2 residential campuses are available for international student and domestic student who wants to have a full college experience by studying here in the US. And you can live on campus and do all of the fun thing here on campus. And the worldwide campus will give you a little bit more flexibility in location. We have students taking classes, like I said earlier, from all around the world. So there are definitely options for everybody here. I'm going to play this video. I don't think the sound will work, but at least you'll get a chance to see some of the really cool things that we're doing here at our university. And if you are interested in seeing a little bit more of our videos and different things about different campuses that we're doing, I encourage you to go on YouTube after this presentation, and you can see all the video with the sound and audio and everything on YouTube/ERAU. So I'm going to play this here real quick. So again, apologize if you cannot hear any of the sound, and I highly recommend you to go on our YouTube channel and see the full video. It's really cool, and there are a lot of different videos that can really show you different things that we're doing here at the university. And if you want the exact YouTube address, just make sure that you let me know, and I can type it in at the end of our presentation here. Okay, going back to our 2 residential campuses. So here you can see both of them in the US. One is in Prescott, Arizona. So we are about 4,000 feet above sea level. So when you think about Arizona, you might think about this really hot state, but at 4,000 feet above sea level, so you do actually get 4 seasons. So I do make sure to always tell our students we do get a little bit of snow in the winter time, not too much, but just enough for you to be able to experience the winter time in America. So you get the 4 season, but just like our Florida campus, majority of the time they're sunny and beautiful. We choose these 2 locations strategically just so we'll give the student the best chances of the most sunshine out of the year. So for our aeronautical science student, the student who train to become pilots will get the most flying days out of the year. And our Daytona Beach campus is a beautiful city located just 10 minutes away from the beach and 1 hour away from Orlando, where Disney is. And also for the NASCAR. So if you're interested in NASCAR or Disney or anything like that, it's a great location for that. We have about 6,600 students at our Florida campus and about 3,000 students at our Prescott campus. Both campuses are very diverse with students coming in from over 120 different nations. So very diverse community. You'll get to meet people from all around the world doing really cool things, focusing in aviation and the technology field. Other than the 2 campuses, we also have a Embry-Riddle Asia campus located in Singapore, which gives students an opportunity to be taking classes and going to school through Embry-Riddle in Singapore. They offer degree programs through partnerships and also in association with the Aviation Academy. So they have also graduate programs specifically designed for working professionals. One of the new partnerships that they have offer part-time and full-time undergraduate degree for students looking into bachelor degree while working or maybe entering into the workforce. So a lot of options over there. And last but not least, a worldwide online campus. It is ranked number 1 of the online bachelor degree program. It enrolls over 20,000 students globally from everywhere in the world. It features a lot of different start dates throughout the year, so really gives students flexibility, especially at times like this when we're all sitting at home. Some of the students might not be able to travel outside of the hometown to come to school in person. It gives this a really good flexibility for the student to still be able to start school at Embry-Riddle without being here in person. And a lot of our students have started in the fall when they're not allowed to travel outside of the country, or if they're not able to get the visa in time to take that 4th semester and then to come in person in the spring. So give them a lot of great flexibility in that. And even though you're taking classes online, you're still engaged with your student body, with your professors. We have this technology we have been using for a number of years called a virtual classroom that foster engagement and collaboration through labs and hands-on experience. You can still get that even though you're taking classes from home. And you might be missing some social interaction when you're sitting from home, missing your classmate and your professor, but we have this e-union, which is one of its kind virtual community where our students, faculty, and staff still get to engage virtually anywhere and stay connected through groups or doing projects together, even though you might be at home. So a really good option for a lot of the students, especially for this time. A little bit about our recognition. We are the largest aviation university in the world, so we're very well known in the industry, and that might be part of the reason why you're here at this presentation today, because you might heard about us through some of the channels. We do great things in the industry, so some of the achievement here are basically our #1 aerospace engineering in the nation is one of our most popular program in the nation, and it has been for the past 18 years at the undergraduate level. So if you are interested in aerospace, I'll talk a little bit more about the particular program later into our presentation. And we also have the only aerospace physiology program in the nation. So that can also lead into a pre-med and med degree later on into your career. and also the only college and the first college of security and intelligence in the nation, which we'll also talk about that a little bit more. One of the fastest growing industry and one of the fastest growing major as well. And a couple of the fun facts, we also have the Aeronautical Science program, which is the program that trains students to become a pilot. Another very popular program at our university. In fact, 1 out of 4 pilots here in America at any of the major airline are our graduates. So when you walk into any of the major airline, people are very familiar with Embry-Riddle. They understand the type of programs that we offer, and they understand the quality of the graduates that we produce here from our university. So here are just a few of the examples. And one of the things that students might be focusing or having some concern about is this current crisis that we're all facing all around the world. But as you can see, this have never stopped the aviation industry. Sometimes we get questioned about, oh, we might be not having as many commercial flights. So how does that affect pilots? But in fact, the need of pilots have went up, because even though maybe the commercial flight have stopped the past couple of years or have really slowed down, but the need for students actually flying the fleet flight. So think about FedEx, think about Amazon, that have to travel from one point to another, delivering important goods all around the world. That has never stopped. And obviously the commercial flight has picked back up already. So things in the aviation industry has really not been hit that hard in terms of the job foresight and the foreseeing what is available in your opportunity in the future. So that's just one of the slides to kind of maybe put your mind at ease if you're thinking about being a pilot and worry about the job future. Okay, really quick, jumping into what we offer in the aviation and STEM field. Aviation business, obviously one of our most popular major here on campus. Boeing forecasts over 790,000 new pilots that we'll need across the world by 2037. So it's definitely one of the fast growing industry. And in addition to that, we'll also need 754,000 maintenance technicians. So we offer major in both. And with the COVID-19 that we're talking about that already, even though commercial flight might have slowed down a little bit, but the fleet pilot need has definitely have went up. We have over 90 institutional aircraft at the 2 campuses in America, which means that you'll be able to get all of the flying done here on campus, go to school in the morning, go fly in the evening, vice versa. So you'll be able, when you look up to the sky on campus, you see a lot of our purple and gold flight just kind of going around campus. It's really cool. And our Prescott flight team has won the 12 national titles, which is another great achievement that we have here at Embry-Riddle. And so what you will need as a aeronautical science student, you only need 1,000 hours to gain your commercial pilot and the FTA license instead of 1,500, because we are one of the approved institution that the FAA will accept the 1,000 hours. If you have any specific question about aviation and also aeronautical science, because there are so many details going into the major, you can reach out to me directly, and I can give you all of the information about this particular major after the presentation. So within the aviation and business field, one of the things you can see aeronautical science, a fixed wing is the commercial pilot, rotary is helicopter. But aside from that, there are so many other options here in the aviation field. Another fast growing major and is a very well earning industry with the best ROI, the return of investment, is air traffic management. They have been constantly ranked the top 5, top 10 the most well-paying job right after college. So if you're interested in directing air traffic, this is a great major to look into as well. Obviously, aviation business administration and the regular business administration are also 2 very popular major here on campus as well. So, and then going into master program, we do offer master in MBA, AVA, so on and so forth. And the other one that we pointed out at the previous slide is the aviation maintenance program that is available through our Florida campus. And again, one of the very popular major on campus. And last but not least, I do want to point out is the unmanned aircraft system. The last one here, under the bachelor's degree, it is actually training students to become drone pilots. So we are definitely ahead of the curve in the industry, understanding that are a high need of drone pilots, not only pilots flying airplane, but also people that need to be trained and be FAA approved to be flying drones. So that is another major that we have here at Embry-Riddle. It's very unique that you might not be able to find anywhere else. So moving on to engineering and space, checking on the time here. And this is another of our very popular college here at the university, along with our very strong aeronautical science and aviation program. We have people flying the airplane. We also need people designing and building those airplanes. This major is really interactive and really helps students to become the essential parts in the industry. And thinking about above and beyond that, we set the standard for the aviation education. Our graduates and our faculty members are very actively involved with the formulation of the national and international policy related to aviation. So we're very well known in the industry as the industry leader, recognize and think highly of the quality of our student. So one of the things that we really are proud of about the engineering program is the interdisciplinary learning, which means that the flexibility in learning. So you're not just going to be sitting in a classroom listening to the professor talking at you. It's very interactive, which means we give students a lot of opportunity for hands-on learning. You will be building something like this student here that you can see on the slide that might be sponsored with NASA. And at the Prescott campus, we have a Land Rover that is on display that were sponsored by the NASA, built by our student, and actually were tested and on Mars. So we want to be having that technology that will eventually be able to go up to Mars and be able to function when it get up outside of our little Earth here. So it's really interesting for a lot of the students to be able to not only learn through the lecture, learn through the theory, but by actually doing it. And through our class size, it's generally a little bit smaller. You'll never be sitting in a 300 people lecture hall. A lot of our classes are interactive, less than 20 students, so you'll be able to have very vibrant discussion inside the classroom and be doing a lot of hands-on learning within the classroom. And above and beyond that, you also have a lot of opportunity as both domestic and international student for internships while you're going to school at Embry-Riddle, and also doing a lot of hands-on learning projects. And with internship, with international student, we do something called OPT, so occupational professional training. So give you an opportunity to earn that really important experience in the business field while you're going to school to set you up for success moving forward. So here are different type of engineering. So as you can see, aerospace engineering is the most popular program, as it has been ranked #1 for the past 18 years by the US News and Reports as the undergraduate level. So very well known, very well established. But as you can see, you have a lot of different type of engineering within the field as well. So if you're more interested in mechanical engineering, you can definitely gear towards that. And software engineering, and a lot of the students do have kind of an interdisciplinary learning option. So you can do a little bit more mechanical with maybe a minor or a little focus more in aerospace and vice versa. So we don't want to really box you in one major, but rather give you the chance to have a lot of opportunity in really exploring things that you're most interested in. So it's very important for us. And if you're unsure, you just know that you might enjoy engineering, but unsure about which type of engineering that you want to go into, when you get to Embry-Riddle, you have a mentor who will also be a professor here that can help you figure that out along the way as well. And one of the example about interdisciplinary learning during our COVID shutdown in spring back in 2020, we actually have to close down our campus. Our campus is up and running again. Students are taking in-person classes right now. But back in spring, with the COVID shutdown, our students have taken classes from home. So they were actually had a project and it's student initiated. They started that all on their own using technology that they came up with to help our local communities when back in March, we have a shortage of high quality masks and face shield. So 50 of our engineering students from both Prescott and Arizona, Prescott, Arizona, and also Florida campus came together online, and along with other majors, they were able to create and using 3D printing technology and be able to create over 5,000 face shield and to distribute that all across the country for people and hospitals that were in need. So that's just one of the example how we are using technology to not through the learning to not only learn about the field, but also giving back to the community actively. So that's something is so important for us. The professor were there with them alongside, helping them with the project. So not only they're learning something throughout the process, but they're also helping with our community. So a lot of project going on like that on both campuses that we're very proud of. And you can see we also have optional master degree programs. Majority of the engineering master program will be offered through our Florida campus and all the way up to the PhD program in engineering and space. So next, moving on, we'll have all of this exciting new technology that we're working with that you think about in engineering and in the aviation field, but it's also very important to also protect those technology. So Embry-Riddle, we are the first university in the US that started an entire college in safety, security, and intelligence. It's the first comprehensive degree granting college of its kind in the US. It's more important than ever to have this type of knowledge. And you'll hear maybe about a lot of data breach, and you hear about companies, big website getting hacked, maybe bank, or even Zoom, they're getting hacked. So what is important for our big corporation and government to protect against the cyber threats, natural disaster, and criminal acts is more important than ever. In this really fast, rapidly growing field, the knowledge and solution that you're learning and creating today could become laws and policies tomorrow. So you become a part of the solution. So if you have any interest in coding, maybe software engineering, this is definitely a fast growing field within the aviation and STEM industry. Maybe you never thought about a major in cybersecurity and intelligence, but you really just enjoy coding. This is definitely a major and a field to really think about. Again, while during COVID shutdown in spring, a group of our students actually took part in the DEF CON. So usually this is the biggest cyber security conference in the world. They have over 20,000 people going there every single year. But since the nation was in lockdown, everything has to be moved online. So this group of students actually developed this software to simulate after a airport has been hacked and how do we solve this. So they have over hundreds of students and also professional from all around the world who joined into this competition to try to crack that, to try to save this cyber threat that was happening. So that was part of the project that our students from this particular college have done this year, even when they were all working separately from home. So very interesting industry. We have heavy funding from a lot of three-letter agency, including NSA, FBI, so on and so forth. A professor are very well known in the industry and have a lot of insiders and industry knowledge as well. So as you can see here are the different type of degrees program in both bachelor and master degree. This particular program is only available through our Arizona campus. So as you can see, and in the bachelor degrees program, you can see the cyber intelligence and security. You can also see the global security and intelligence study. That is also very focused in the security, but less in the coding. So if you're really interested in this program, but you might not be so much of a programmer, the global security and intelligence program is a good option. And some of the professors' background, Professor Avery has 30 plus year with the CIA as a trained analyst, and also he was working at the White House as a director of national security. Our other professor, Dr. Kirshner, was a technical executive for security for Boeing before he came to Embry-Riddle and founded the first cybersecurity program in the nation. And we have professors from all around the world joining us in this program and really making this program very, very important moving forward with the support of the government agency and the business field as well. And this is available for international students as well as domestic students too. So as an international student, you will be able to learn alongside this top level professor and student within the industry as well through the cybersecurity program. Last but not least, we have the Applied Research Degree Program for students that really have to wanting to be a problem solver and analytical thinker. They are deeply rooted in research. And while some of the area will focus in aviation and aerospace, the fundamentals can really be applied to any industry out there. When I bring up research at Embry-Riddle as an undergraduate student, you will have the opportunity to have research experience. Unlike some of the bigger schools, you might not be able to conduct any research until you are at the graduate level. At Embry-Riddle, as an undergraduate student, you will be able, if you want, to have that research opportunity. Again, going back to what I was talking about earlier, is that hands-on opportunity that you get to learn by doing, which is very, very important to us. So here are all of the programs that are available through the Applied Science program. You can accelerate if you want. If you have interest in the human factor psychology, for example, you can get your bachelor and your master degree in 5 years at our Florida campus. So if you want to learn about weathers, mathematical formulas and application behaviors, or how humans interact with technology, that is the degree program through the Applied Science College, where you'll find a gratifying career for you. So moving forward, you think about, yeah, everything looks great. I'm excited to start. But what happened after the 4 years at Embry-Riddle? And this is some figure that we're very proud of. Is over 94% now of our students, after they graduated from Embry-Riddle, they are either having a full-time job immediately or moving on to a graduate program. So high return of investment. We love seeing our students representing us and doing amazing things after they graduate. And partially really goes back to when they're in school, we give them a lot of opportunity, not only learn from the best professors in the field, but also to have the opportunity to have the internship to put together what they're learning from inside the classroom outside. So that's why this number is so high for our student. Not only they will be able to find a job, but it will be a job that they enjoy and they're passionate about. So this is very important for us. And we also have been ranked #1 in both Arizona and Florida for helping students getting a job after they graduate 2 years from now. So out of the Florida, we have 146 colleges, and Arizona with 48 colleges. We have constantly been ranked #1 for the student getting a job within the field after they graduate. So those are very exciting numbers for us. And above and beyond, you will be graduating alongside amongst the best in the field and be able to make a lot of connection. You'll see a lot of career fairs on campuses. You'll have a lot of opportunity from the aviation and STEM field. The recruiter always are on campus recruiting our student, and sometimes when you look at a recruiter, they could be your classmate from Embry-Riddle. So it's very, very well connected in the field. So if you're interested in anything in the aviation and the STEM field, Embry-Riddle is definitely a great starting point for you. And fun fact, we have 7 of our Riddle alumni has also went on and become astronauts. So if that is also in your foreseeable career path that you might be interested in become astronaut, this is a place to be. And just a little bit more on the employment outcome and what type of employers have constantly been recruiting our students. Here are a list of that. And then really quick about tuition is important for us to know. So since we are a private institution, everybody pay the same tuition, no matter if you are American citizen or if you are international student, everybody pay the same tuition. And here is the estimated cost. So roughly around $51,000, $52,000, that will be including everything for your tuition, room and board, books, so on and so forth per year. If you are thinking about being a pilot or majoring in aeronautical science, there will be additional. Usually, roughly, we are averaging about $18,000 on top of the $52,000 to train to have that as the additional flight cost. So be aware of that. But for everyone else, no matter the major, this is the number for the tuition per year. And we also have the worldwide and our online program here. The tuition is a little bit less if you're just doing online classes. And at the residential campuses, we also offer scholarship ranging from $2,000 to $12,000 per year for both our international and our domestic students. And we use the GPA and also your ACT or your SAT to determine your scholarship. So when you submit your application with your official school transcript, we'll talk about the application requirement a little bit later. With your GPA, we'll look at, and then with your ACT or your SAT, automatically, if you qualify for it, you'll get a scholarship. You don't have to submit any extra application. If you qualify for the merit-based scholarship, it will be available to you automatically after you have been accepted for international students. So really quick about our undergraduate checklist here. As you can see, everything is listed here. And application fees, you can do all of that online. Personal statement is optional. And official high school, obviously, transcript need to come to us directly. TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo exam. If you go to an international school where the language of instruction is English for the past 2 years, you do not need to submit your TOEFL score. So in other words, if you're currently in an AP or an IB curriculum for at least have 2 years already, you do not need to submit your TOEFL score. ACT, SAT, like I was talking about earlier, is optional for admissions. But if you want to be considered for scholarship, you do want to submit those scores. But if you're just applying, you do not need to submit the ACT or your SAT. And foreign credit evaluation is if you have attended university or college from a foreign country outside of the US, you have to submit the FCE. Recommendation letter is optional. And once you're accepted, you'll have to submit the affidavit of support to prove that you'll have the financial support for at least 1 year of tuition and the cost of living, and then a copy of passport. Pretty straightforward. And then I'm going to skip through the graduate program. If you have question about a graduate study, contact me directly. The only additional thing would be the GRE or the GMAT results, and then also recommendation letter, and then the statement of objective is not optional for the graduate program. And yeah, just like what we've been talking about, really thinking about this aviation and STEM field is to study not only the academic trend, but also different employment option in your own country. We have the career advisory here for you. A lot of our international students chose to stay in the US to pursue a couple years of experience through our OPT program, which we also help students to locate. And really quick about the OPT program, if you you are in the aviation and STEM field, regular OPT, which is an occupational training program, that is an internship after you graduate in the US, you can do it for 1 year. But from anyone graduated from an aviation or a STEM field that are recognized by the OPT program, you can extend that program for 2 additional years. So you can be able to do a 3 years program here in the US after each of your degree. We can talk a little bit more about that if you're interested in that. But a lot of our students do take advantage of that and gain some additional experience after they graduated from Embry-Riddle. So really focus on the career path, what you're passionate about. We want you to be doing things that you will be learning in school, not graduated from one degree and go on to a complete different career path. So really help them to stay on track of the career path is part of the things that we do at Embry-Riddle. Compare school resources, the type of different equipments are offered from different campuses. And obviously at Embry-Riddle, we have the top end technology in the aviation and STEM field that you will be able to use while you're going to school training on before you move on to your career of choice. And continue reading books that interest you, know a lot of the things before you go, and also have an open mind and explore your option. This is an exciting time for you to be able to really pursue anything under the sun that you would like to do, and also outside of the atmosphere if you want to through Embry-Riddle. But definitely reach out if you have any questions. You can do any of this exciting thing through Embry-Riddle. And I'm going to end with leaving our contact information here. If you have any interest of any of the campuses, feel free to give us a call or email us, and also to keep on going onto our social media, like I was saying, on the YouTube or Facebook or whatever. We'll have the most updated information out there for you. So I'm going to skip out of this and go to, I hear a lot of messaging going on there, and see if there's any questions I can answer for you. All right, so I'm going back up to top here. Hello, everybody. Thank you for saying hello. And then, okay, contact details in there. We'll also share the webinar copy. Yes. So that's the web page. Thank you for sharing that. And then, so there's a question about to work with a master degree and have a prep year be read for those English level is not good. That is a great question. We do have a Embry-Riddle Learning English Institute here on both campuses, so in Florida and also in Arizona. If your English is not up to par yet, or if you want to have some additional time to learn English, you can definitely take part in our early program. That's what we call it. And that usually range from 1 semester to 1 year to strengthen your English skills before you go into a degree program. And that is definitely a great option for a lot of the students. And once you graduated from the early program, you can jump straight into a degree program without additional testing or whatnot. So I'm going to type in my email here again. And then since you guys are all here today, I am also going to be giving you a code. So if you are going to be submitting application for Embry-Riddle, you can use this code to waive your $50 application fee. So make sure that you write this down and keep this in a safe place. Virtual, so fee waiver code. So make sure that you use this code when you apply, and you will not need to pay the additional. I'm going to stop my screen sharing for a second. And any other additional question? I would love to answer more questions here.
Katie, there are more questions in the questions tab.
Oh, okay. Just in the chat tab. Thank you so much. So that is loading the questions right now. Can you, oh, there it is. Perfect. So how often can you take training per week? So it depending, so I'm assuming that would be for aeronautical science training. So training to become a pilot. It's hard to say per week. It's based on your schedule and how hard that you want to work. But what happened is when you graduated with the aeronautical science program, you usually roughly will have about 200 plus hours in flight time. And in addition to the 4 different ratings that you'll get, so the PPL, private pilot license, single engine, multi-engine, and commercial pilot license. When you graduated from Embry-Riddle, you get your bachelor degree on one side, along with the 4 ratings, which will enable you to fly for any commercial airline that would accept you as a pilot, in addition to maybe some additional training. But when you graduated from Embry-Riddle, you get the 4 ratings up to a commercial pilot license. Do we need special equipment for a flight course? No, you can get basically you need a laptop for most of the program. But other than that, with Stimulator here on campus, like I said in the presentation earlier, we have over 90 flights on both campuses that you'll be able to use all of the equipment. You'll just have to pay for the flight time. So you don't need to bring in your own airplane. Although some of the students have done that before. If they want to train on their own aircraft, they have their own aircraft and park at our hangar on campus. Great question. Are the classes and dorm convenient to the flight ramp? Yes. So the flight ramp is about 5 to 10 minutes away from campus. We have a shuttle going back and forth every day if students do not have a car, but majority of the students will carpool to go to the hangar and fly and come back. But like I said, it's so close to campus. When you look up sometimes on campus, you'll just see a little flight going around. Your friends or your roommate will be up there flying, waving at you. Are there any changes about start date and application deadline due to COVID-19? So our start date have not changed due to COVID-19. Our fall semester have actually officially started yesterday in person and also virtually. So for the student who are able to come to the US in person, they're all here and they're all taking classes. But for the student who are not able to, some of my students from the UAE, for example, they have some governmental restriction that they were not able to travel to US in time. So they're taking classes online for fall and planning on being here in person for spring, but nothing have changed for that in terms of due to COVID-19, everything is on schedule for us. Do you have any dual degree program with Turkish university? We don't currently right now that to my knowledge, but if you have graduated or if you are currently at a Turkish university, you just need to submit a foreign credit evaluation and we'll see what type of classes that you're taking there and how many credit will transfer in. So just keep in touch with us. We'll help you to work our way through if you're transferring in from a university. Language requirement, that's a great question. So we talk about TOEFL is the minimum score is 79. IELTS, the minimum score is 6.0. And we're also accepting Duolingo started this year because of the COVID. So Duolingo is an online test that you don't need to go to a testing center. You can just take it online in the comfort of your home. So it's called Duolingo. And the minimum score for Duolingo is 105. And again, if you are already attending an international school in Turkey right now, you as long as you have been there for at least 2 years, you do not need to take the TOEFL or the IELTS or the Duolingo. GMAT GRE score, yes, is required for master program and it varies. So for example, the cyber program is optional, but for most of the engineering program, you do need to submit your GMAT or GRE. So depending on the program, so definitely send us an email. I'll get you connected with our graduate recruiter and she will be able to give you the exact minimum GMAT or GRE score for the particular program. Great question. Do you have partners company that we can do internship during our education or after? Definitely. So basically all of the major airline here in the US, for example, United, Delta, American, they have a pathway program for our student. One of my students, she's from Malaysia. She's an aerospace engineering major. She just finished doing a internship with Delta over the summer in Atlanta. So a lot of partnership that are hiring both domestic and international students. So that's on the aerospace side for any of the major airline. Outside of that, I would say any of the major tech company, Google, Amazon, Facebook, so on and so forth. Amazon has a base here in Phoenix, so a lot of the students are working from them as an internship or after the internship, after they graduated from Embry-Riddle as a full-time employer. Yes, so there's definitely a lot of opportunity for internship and partnerships for international students as well. And then what documents I need for online MBA. So you'll see the admissions requirement for the MBA program, pretty similar to undergrad. They do require the GMAT or the GRE along with all of the other undergraduate, pretty similar to what you need from undergraduate. But for that particular program, email me and I'll direct you to our colleagues who is in charge of our worldwide program. That is a great question. What kind of social activities available for international students? And that's one thing I didn't have time to go over. And as diverse as both of the campus are, we have a lot of clubs and organization. When you come to America, majority of the university have offers a lot of clubs and organization, from something that are just fun, like a Nerf gun club, like a drama club, like sports club, to something more academically focused for some aviation's programming club, or you have a engineering club. Those are all open for students. For international student in particular, we also have a very, very popular club. It's our International Student Association, that you have students from all around the world. They come together each year and we put together a big international student international student week, where everybody cooks something from their home country and the entire campus will get together. And this year might be a little bit different, might be a little bit more social distancing, to try out each other food. So it's a very vibrant community. You can definitely be social within the things that you're interested in academically, but you can also explore different interests, maybe something that you never tried before. Maybe you want to go fly a drone and you've never done that before. You can join our drone club and go play on drones and take picture with those students. So it's very diverse and it's very active campus, just because everyone is so passionate about things that they're doing. Is very, very exciting for everyone coming in from everywhere around the world. And then the last question here I have is, ACT or SAT, is it compulsory for undergraduate application? That's a great question, and I want to make sure that everybody is clear on that. ACT and SAT is not required for application. So you do not need to submit ACT or SAT to be accepted to the university, but it is required for scholarship. So if you want to be qualified for a merit-based scholarship, you do have to take the ACT, SAT. So if you are planning on coming in year 2021, I highly recommend you to start preparing for the ACT, SAT. Then you can submit your application with ACT, SAT, or what you could also do is to submit your application without the ACT and SAT and let me know, and that you will be taking the ACT, SAT later. Then when you submit the ACT, SAT later, even after you accept it, then I can look into the scholarships and see if you qualify for one. So just make sure to let me know if you will be taking the SAT, if the SAT or the ACT result will be available before you submit the application. So just so I would understand if I should be looking out for the score to give you the scholarship. But in short, we do not require that for admission, just for scholarships. All right, I think I have went through all of the questions here. If you have,
there's one more question on the top.
On the top. Oh, okay. I started from the bottom. Oh, perfect. Studying electronical electrical engineering. Is it possible for me to study MA in computer science or software engineering, even though my major is not particularly the same with this, but really close? Definitely. And in fact, for students who are considering master program, personally, I think it's advantageous to have a different degree coming in, just so give you a little bit of a wider perspective. So that is definitely something that we accept. Definitely apply, and the professor will be working alongside with our missions to overview your qualification. But yes, that is definitely something that you can do, even though if you're coming in with a different major as an undergraduate and you're thinking about a different major. In fact, we have a lot of engineering undergraduate students pursuing an MBA. And we have a lot of engineering students pursuing a master in cyber intelligence and security, just because they are actually could be tying together pretty well. So yes, you can definitely apply with a different major as an undergrad and wanting to pursue a different master program. Okay, I'm going back to chat and see if there's any additional questions. Okay, again, so please go back to chat. My email is there. If you have any particular question about any particular program, please let me know. And the fee waiver code virtual is going to be able to work on both undergraduate and graduate applications. So if you're applying for a bachelor degree or master degree, you can use this fee waiver code to waive your application fee. It should work for both sides. So definitely submit an application. If you need anything, let us know. We are here to help you and answer any additional questions that you might have. And thank you so much for your time tonight. And we would love to see you soon, hopefully in person, maybe next year. And if not, stay in touch, and looking forward to speaking with you more.
Thank you very much. It was a great presentation, and you covered all the questions. Also, thank you for the waiver code. It will be very helpful for the students, I think. Thank you again. It was very great to welcome you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting this.
Thank you. Is there anything you would like to add before we say goodbye?
I think I cover majority of things here. Stay in touch, and if the student reach out to you with any question, feel free to pass my email along to them as well.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.